The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Proton Pack Podcast. I'm Kristian, and with me always is the Mini-Puff to my Stay Puffed, Tony. Say hey, Tone.
Are you God?
You damn right, I'm a god. Got the internet fixed, ready for a episode 64, I believe we're on. So I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Doing all right. You know, we had a nice long weekend. Looks like we got the technical issues worked out.
Yeah.
So far, we're off to a good start.
Yeah, fingers crossed, man. Last week we busted out last week's episode right before my modem crapped out, which led to a Monday evening of frustrations, which then led us to a Tuesday morning of frustrations, and we had a rough week in the world on with the Phoenix show and this, but. Not a problem. Got it fixed. We're here. New episode, ready to rock out, man.
Yeah,
I don't know if you rock out on this thing, but you.
I rock out. I don't know about you, but with that being said, let's go ahead and kick things off the way we do each and every show with our shameless plugs.
It's shameless plug time.
It is in these hills that Juan Valdez and his trusty goat gather coffee beans every morning. Money is cool.
Money is cool. Speaking of money being cool, one of our shameless plugs is Rough Riders, my 501c3 dog rescue nonprofit that's dedicated to the transported dogs from outlying shelters where they may not have a second chance. We bring those dogs, we transport them into the the metro area here in the northern Nevada area, and work with other local shelters and other rescues to find them homes, give them a second chance at life. If you want to find out more about Rough Riders, simply head over to roughriders.org or at facebook.com/Rough Riders Saves, and that's RUFF Riders, just in case you needed to know. The other thing we do, Tony and I do a daily weekday morning show from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific time. Tony, why don't you tell folks about it?
Yes, you can check us out Monday through Friday, and we do a little morning show called the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. We offer we are your host for your daily laughs and levities in a crazy, crazy world, and I do your entertainment segment. We run things like Florida Man on Thursdays, Animal Tales on Tuesdays, Silly Rabbit, This Bit's for Kids on Mondays when we do our Monday shows, Good News Fridays, and we always like to do this thing where we have you, the listener, chime in, where we ask you the daily topics. You chime in the middle of the show. We also do Radio Roulette off the Radio Stereo app, or the Stereo Roulette off the Stereo app. Exactly. Anyways, check us out if you're watching it here on, if you're following us here on Fenix Media. The multiverse pop culture of I screwed that up. If I don't have my things, I'll go off memory, but I can't read our thing at the bottom. But anyways, you're here on Fenix Media. You're listening to us. Listen to our radio show daily. It's a little bit of this, but check it out. It's fun to do, and that's all I got for shameless plugs. No longer have to plug anything else.
Exactly.
Unless you don't have a Costco membership, then I advise go get yourself a Costco membership. $60 for a gold star, $120 for executive, earn 2% back. Shameless plug that.
Tell them Tony sent you.
Yeah. Go get them.
Well, as we've been doing over the last couple of weeks in this first segment, we're discussing the latest show that is on Disney Plus. That being this one. Yes, we're talking Falcon and Winter Soldier. This past Friday, we got a brand new episode, the fourth episode, which unfortunately marks the halfway point for the series. But, you know, it's staying action-packed. It's staying fun. Tony, what was your take on this fourth episode?
I really enjoyed it. Now, here's what I don't get is a lot of people don't like the show. Most people I ask, not feeling it. It's a tough order to fall from Wanda. I get it, but we're here talking this week's episode, and I really liked it. I'm waiting for when Zemo breaks away from Bucky and Sam, because it's a matter of time. Like, he's playing ball right now, and I'm liking his character from the dancing last week, which I love. They did the extended cut with him just dancing. It's funny. But this one's great. You know, he's offering some Turkish Delight candy to the kids in exchange for information. Sam gets close to talking to the Flag Smasher, and of course, here comes not Captain America, comes in and ruins the whole damn thing. He took a super serum, and now he's jacked in the head, and you knew he was going to go bad. But you know what I didn't see coming? Obviously, if you haven't watched the show yet, this is a good time to maybe just fast forward through this segment, or maybe just cover your ears, because I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't watched it yet, but we are discussing it. Hence, there's going to be spoilers that should be a given, but if you don't know, that's that. But I was shocked when the partner died. I mean, they just straight killed his ass. And then at the end, John Walker just straight snapped. And of course, social media, and here he is with the shield, and that just and he killed the wrong guy. That wasn't even the one that killed his partner. Right. So he lost it on a guy. Oh, crazy. But overall, shocking the way it ended. And I wanted to, if the next episode was out right then and there, I would have tuned right in to watch episode 5. So for me, I got to give it an 8 out of 10. It was a good episode. Very good. Good storytelling, a little slow in the beginning, but it's the little things, because now it's balls to the wall for the next 2. It's got to be. Exactly. And I'm very much of the same thought process as you, Tone. I enjoy the hell out of it. It is not the fantastical that we got from WandaVision or that we're going to expect from Loki. It is more down to earth. It's more of an espionage type movie. Type show. So if you like movies like that, it's great. The pacing is good. There's a really good character development. You saw Bucky at the very beginning when he was at Wakanda as the White Wolf, and where he would basically shed the Winter Soldier, those keywords no longer triggered him anymore. And it was a big emotional moment. It was deep with him crying, right? Yep. And then the fact that, like you said, Battlestar, they killed him. They showed John Walker just losing his mind there at the very end. It's from here on out, it's going to be fast-paced. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you know what? If you guys are enjoying it as much as we are, hopefully you'll join us on the discussion next week. Well, folks, I was going to say, let's do it. For the first segment, we are headed into our commercial break. When we come back, we've got TV news, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Behold my precious. Ooh, yeah, let me tell you something right here. It's the Loot Crate subscription box, full of exclusive loot, fun surprises delivered to your door every month.
Just pick up your favorite geeky genre, Daddy.
From the original Loot Crate, the Loot Crate DX collectible boxes, dude! Cowabunga!
To the Loot Gaming video game box. Woohoo! Yee-hoo!
Box. What's with kids today, huh?
Wowzers! With crates starting as low as $11.99 per month, there's a box just about for all collectors.
To get your geek on, head over to phoenixmedia.us/Loot Crate and claim your exclusive offer. That's FENIX media.us/Loot Crate. Great Scott!
Snap into a Loot Crate, dig it?
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Welcome back, folks. We're into the second segment here on the Proton Pack podcast. We just finished up our discussion on Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 4, which we're enjoying the hell out of. But now it's time that we dive a little bit deeper into TV news.
Bazinga!
The cream of the crop!
Hey, baby.
Let's go, Bob.
Excellent.
Hail to the king, baby.
Hail to the king. Well, in TV news, things are a little on the slower side as far as TV production goes, but I think we found a number of stories that, no matter what you're into, will sort of grab you, from here to there. For instance, the Chucky TV series continues to expand its cast, and this time they're going back to fan favorites from the first 2 Child's Play films to go up against everyone's favorite killer doll. According to Entertainment Weekly, Alex Vincent, who starred as young Andy Barclay in the first 2 Child's Play films, and Christine Elise McCarthy, who starred as Kyle in Child's Play 2, have now joined the cast. They joined Brad Dourif, who is once again providing the voice for Chucky, Jennifer Tilly, Devon Sawa, Zachary Arthur, Tio Briones, Jigorvin Arnason, and Olivia Allen Lind on the upcoming USA Network sci-fi series. Now, Vincent made his big screen debut at the age of 7 in 1988's Child's Play and has appeared in 4 entries of the franchise, the last of which was Cult of Chucky. McCarthy's run with the franchise isn't as extensive, but her role in the second film is well liked by fans, and she actually made an uncredited appearance in Cult of Chucky that teased a potential return for more if that was in the cards. And it looks like it is in the cards. She's coming back. Tony, I know you're not big on Chucky and Child's Play. It wasn't anything that you really followed.
Andy. No, I enjoyed him as a kid. The last one I really watched was Bride of Chucky. That was the last one I think I watched. I know there was The Cult and there was
Seed of Chucky,
and then there was the reboot with Mark Hamill's voice.
Right.
And I was interested in watching all those, but I just, for whatever reason, just never did. TV series is interesting. It's a cool way to go. USA, sci-fi. My problem with this, not to be negative, is these movies were very hard rated R. I mean, they were gory at times. There is that scene that still bothers me to this day from the first one. And it's similar to the Pet Cemetery scene where they cut the back of the Achilles. To this day, it just sticks to the back of my head. And those 2 movies got me with that. You're just not going to get like the cussing. And Chucky always had the quippy like F-bombs here and there while terrorizing. I think it's a great great that you got Andy back. I think putting some familiar characters in there is fantastic. But just how far can you go on the USA Network or Sci-Fi? I don't know. Not trying to be negative. This might have been a better call for a streaming service TV series versus network TV. My take, though.
Well, what's interesting in that vein is last time I was out visiting the boys, of course, I have to watch cable TV in the hotel room, and FX and Sci-Fi after, I want to say 8 o'clock p.m., they were showing the full rated R versions of movies. For instance, I watched Deadpool on FX, and it had every cuss word. It had all of the violence. So, maybe they're, easing up.
Maybe it's a late night show. Maybe.
Yeah. So
that's not a bad thing. I think Brad Dourif back as Chucky is great. Not saying that Mark Hamill didn't do a good job. I mean, Mark Hamill's fantastic, but Brad Dourif is Chucky. It's just like Robert Englund is Freddy. Kane Hodder is Jason Voorhees. That's just it. And anyone can be Michael Myers as long as you're tall and you can move around.
Exactly.
I don't think there's one distinct Michael Myers, right?
Yeah. So with that being said, moving away from one horror series on TV to another, the AMC's Walking Dead is coming to an end with a supersized 24-episode final season, and now we know the season. We know when the season's going to begin airing. The teaser trailer, which we'll post up on our Facebook page, reveals the premiere date of August 22nd. So actually, it's a little sooner than they normally do. They normally wait till October. But AMC has said that the season will kick off with 8 new episodes. So this season is probably going to air in 3 separate parts instead of the usual 2. These blocks of episodes are expected to be spaced out far enough that the finale won't air until late 2022. Tony, what's your thoughts on this? Are they just delaying the inevitable? Why 24 in 3 seconds?
They're rushing this. What I would do if I was the showrunners, they kind of screwed themselves a long time ago by giving away the biggest spoilers before they announce. Like they tell you, hey, this person's leaving the show, which tells you 2 things. They're either dying or they're going to disappear just in case they come back. It's happened with Maggie, Rick, Michonne. They never died, but they've disappeared from the show. Maggie came back, but they advertised her return.
Right.
They didn't leave it as one of those you're watching it and you're like, oh my God, there they are. Like the early part of that show had that shock factor. It had that you didn't know what was going to happen and you wanted. Like you...
No more Glenn moments.
Yes, like that. I was just going to say, we've said it before, the Negan, when he debuted, and you were like, did he kill Glenn? Who'd he kill? You wanted to know, and you waited 7 months to find out that it was Abraham, only to turn around and be Glenn, because Glenn died in the comic. Now, with this, they keep saying they got these Rick Grimes movies in the can. What I want to see, if you have these movies done before you do your last season, if Rick ties into the final season and that's it, please release those first, and then you could stretch this into the next year. Right. Like you could give us a movie maybe in October. Maybe you could give us the second part in January, and then maybe give us one, or however you want to space it, and then leave us hanging. Give us little bits, but I would do the movies. That's what I would do. That's not what they're going to do, because then once the show's over, then you'll get these Rick Grimes movies, which at that point, will you care? Will anyone care? I'm sure people will, but dude, this is how much I've fallen off. They've released like 4 new episodes that tie into the 10th season or however the weirdness is. I haven't even gone and watched any of them. I hear the Negan one was really good, but I haven't watched any of it. So...
Well, and you're even more confident than I am. I fell off after that first Negan season, and then he became part of the crew. And, I have to get caught up, but at the same time, I think I might wait until everything is done so that way I could just binge it all at once as opposed to trying to get caught up before, these season finale episodes release.
Yeah, and not saying it's not bad because they still have the same people behind it. It's just the way it's marketed and the way they've kind of laid it out. kind of got to give that one a down. But overall, you know, I'm sure that those 4 episodes they released, they have some meaning, but I mean, not enough where I used to avoid social media until I watched it. Yeah. So I didn't know who got, I didn't want to ever get spoiled. Now I'm just like, I read something, I go, okay. You know, it's like, it didn't have that shock factor like it used to.
Exactly. You know, it's funny because, you know, the Disney Plus series have become the new Walking Dead, where you want to avoid those spoilers. You know, you don't want to know what happens next or what happened, you know, before you had a chance to see it. So, you know, I can see that, you know, the writing is on the wall. It's good that they are finalizing The Walking Dead, at least that original saga. But speaking of Disney Plus, and moving on to our next story, the cast of Marvel's She-Hulk series for Disney Plus has grown a little larger as Deadline has reported that Hamilton's Renee Elise Goldsberry has signed on to star alongside Tatiana Maslany. She-Hulk will be a half-hour legal comedy. I didn't know that before. Something Marvel obviously hasn't attempted before, that centers on Jennifer Walters, played by Maslany, an attorney who has powers similar to her cousin Bruce Banner, but unlike her cousin, she's able to retain much of her intelligence and emotional control. There are many details on who Renee Elise Goldsberry will be playing in She-Hulk, only that she's been cast as a character named Amelia. Ginger Gonzaga, who's also on board to play Walter's best friend, and it has also been announced that last year Mark Ruffalo would be reprising his role of Bruce Banner and the Hulk, and that Tim Roth would be returning as the Abomination, a role he hasn't played since 2008's The Incredible Hulk. Tony, are you excited about She-Hulk coming to Disney Plus? Is it something that, you know, obviously they treat their properties pretty well, but a half-hour legal comedy? What are you thinking?
I want the intro to be sung by Dave Mustaine of Megadeth. Get in a legal fight with the She-Hulk. One look in the jury's eyes. Gavel slamming, she will rise. Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah, it's not She-Hulk, it's She-Hulk, though.
The She-Hulk. Beware of the She-Hulk. I reserve judgment to LC. If it's Marvel, I feel like it's going to be in good hands, but on paper, it sounds kind of stupid. I'm not going to lie. It sounds kind of dumb. But hey, I thought WandaVision was going to be like, I didn't know about WandaVision. And I know I want more WandaVision. So if it's entertaining and funny, and I like the time, 30 minutes, hey, I got time for 30 minutes. So I'm going to reserve judgment, but I would say I am a little excited.
All right.
It's Marvel. It's Marvel, man.
Well, hold on to that excitement because we are headed into our commercial break. When we come back, we're talking movie news, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
She-Hulk.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter, Brooklyn, was also a motivation for me to go back to school. Every day after work, went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see, every moment can be kind of special. But they can be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Welcome back, folks, to the third segment of this episode of the Proton Pack podcast. We just finished up talking TV news, and now it's time to get into movies. But as we do, we kick things off with our box office report from this past weekend. Well, it is no surprise that Godzilla vs. Kong remained in first place with an estimated $13.3 million. That's on top of what they had already made, bringing their domestic total up to $69.5 million. And their worldwide total is, at the moment, not showing me.
them bastards at Joe Blow.
Oh, yeah. So,
I got a Godzilla soundbite for you. Here you go. Just kidding. I really didn't have a soundbite for you. That's all I had.
Godzilla sounds a little anemic, but
he's a little hairy. Things are a little hairy there in Kong Town.
There you go. Searching through the worldwide totals up to $357.8 million, which is massive considering it cost about $200 million to make. Given everything that's going on with coronavirus, it's doing very well.
I'm giving it an applause because it is the first this movie and Tom and Jerry, as much as I freaking hate to say it, man, those movies have been kicking like the little sparks for the box office. So I got a kudos. I can't even crap on Tom and Jerry because it's helping it out, man. But I still got to see Godzilla Kong. Right before we started this show, I'm halfway through King of Monsters. I like it so far. And Skull Island was excellent. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Really enjoyed it. Don't know why it took me so long to watch these things.
Hey, time. Time is all it takes.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. Moving on, in second place is the Bob Odenkirk action thriller Nobody, brought in another $2.6 million, bringing its domestic total to $15.6, or its worldwide total to $28.7. Reportedly cost $16 million to make. I did go see this over the weekend. It was a lot of fun. If you're a fan of the John Wick movies, you'll enjoy the hell out of Nobody.
Can't wait to see it.
Yep. In third place was the Sam Raimi-produced supernatural horror movie, The Unholy. It brought in another $2.4 million, bringing its 10-day domestic total to $6.7. A little anemic for it. In fourth place was Raya and the Last Dragon with another $2.1 million, bringing its domestic to $35.2 and its worldwide to $97.2. So it's making some good money on top of whatever Premier Access is bringing in for it as well.
Yeah, I bet it's some good money on that. It's probably more coin there than in theaters.
Exactly. And then in fifth place was the Deep Space Voyage thriller, Voyagers, opened with $1.35 million. Hopefully it doesn't struggle to make its money back, which it cost.
Who's in that one?
Million. Colin Farrell's in it. Lily Rose Depp. I know. Ty Sheridan.
Never heard of her. I've heard of Johnny Depp's daughter, but I've never heard of that movie.
Exactly. But you know what? Now's the time to release it, especially if you don't think it's going to make a ton of money, because but the theaters are just going to become more and more packed. Rounding out the top 10, we had Tom and Jerry bring another $1.11 million. The Girl Who Believes in Miracles brought in $597,000. The Courier brought in $436,000. Vakil Saab, can't wait for that movie, brought in $411,000. And then Chaos Walking, holding on to that last spot in 10th place, brought another $265,000.
That thing has slipped right down the top 10 every week.
Yeah, and it's available on demand now too. So
okay. Well, that's probably where I'm gonna have to see it, because I was telling you here in Fort Collins, they have the big ones, and but you can only go see them like after 4 p.m., which is weird.
Yeah, especially if you want to go earlier in the day.
Yeah, it makes sense. I was up early today. What if I could have seen both movies by the time we did the show, but it falls during the show, so I didn't. We'll see. Eventually, I get back to theater living, baby.
Yeah. Well, let's move on since we rounded out the box office report and go into our movies.
And here we go.
Are you the keymaster?
Wrap it up, fuzzball.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
This baby hits 88 miles per hour. You're gonna see some serious shit.
Yeah, we are, Doc Brown. All right. So first up,
Kristian.
First up in movie news, Netflix and Sony Pictures have struck a deal that will keep upcoming Spider-Man films and other selections from Sony Pictures on Netflix after they finish in theaters. The reportedly multi-year contract will start with Sony's 2022 film slate. Netflix will have first right looks to the movies Sony is producing or licensing for the streaming platforms. The number of films Netflix has committed to ordering is currently undisclosed. Notably, the deal doesn't stop Sony from selling streaming rights to other platforms. Sources speaking to Variety also said that the deal will amount to a record-setting sum for a pay-one window agreement. The deal is reportedly set to last 5 years, and the New York Times reports that Netflix will pay about $1 billion to Sony over 4 years. Sony can make a pay-one window agreement such as this in part because it doesn't have its own streaming platform like Disney Plus or HBO Max. So what has Netflix definitely earned for its money? Well, the Wall Street Journal reports that future Spider-Man movies will land on Netflix following their theatrical runs, though it's unclear if the Tom Holland Spider-Man No Way Home is included in that deal. Along with other Marvel characters, Sony still holds the rights to, like Jared Leto's Morbius and Tom Hardy's Venom. Netflix will also license certain older Sony pictures as well. I think this is a great move for Sony, for Netflix. You know, Sony doesn't have their own streaming service, whereas, Netflix can be that for them. What do you think, Tone? Are you excited to see Sony movies on Netflix?
Oh, it's a smart move for Netflix. I think with them losing to, Universal to Peacock and then Paramount Flix, obviously, to Paramount Plus. And of course, they don't have Disney anymore because Disney Plus. So you kind of need more than just your own original content. And I think Sony brings that. They have Columbia Pictures, which houses Ghostbusters. They have a lot of deals in place. And I think having like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is huge. That means you're not going to be seeing that on Disney Plus. People love Spider-Man. To keep the Spider-Man world at least over there is going to be a draw, especially for Marvel fans alike. It's good. It makes sense to keep the Tom Holland ones there. I mean, if that one would be nice to see them both on Disney Plus and Netflix, but even right now you can't catch the Tom Holland ones on Disney Plus. So
yeah,
gotta stream them somewhere, man.
Exactly.
And here's the thing: almost everyone has Netflix, anyways. They're the originators. They're the game changers. They're not going away, and they're smart. Yeah, they've lost a lot of their stuff, but at the same time, everybody's copying what they do, man. They've set the standard. So smart move by Sony.
Yeah, and
very
Sony
smart
has
move.
more properties than just the Spider-Man. They've got the Men in Black franchise, which, that'll be a big draw for them. So I think it'll be a good move on their part. Now,
Absolutely.
Speaking of moves, let's move on. And Disney has confirmed that both Jungle Cruise and Free Guy have not been delayed and that they will be premiering in theaters this summer.
Yes.
Such good news. Jungle Cruise is set to hit theaters on July 30th, 2021, and Free Guy will arrive shortly after on August 13th, 2021. Jungle Cruise will be released 3 weeks after Black Widow, which will be made available in both theaters and on Disney Plus Premier Access on July 9th. This news from Disney may show some of the company's optimism that movie theaters will be a much more viable option with the greater availability of the COVID-19 vaccine across the world. I think shooting for July to bring everything back to theaters, it's a good mark. We're already seeing from the box office report that those box office numbers are increasing. Good job, Disney, and the fact that we will actually see those two movies, which I'm looking forward to, is a little bit of a sigh of relief on my part.
Absolutely. There's going to be one movie we talk about here in a few, so I'm going to save that comment for then. But this is a great news. I mean, you can already see things, man. It's almost like there's light at the end of this dark tunnel. Finally, there's some light. I'm not saying movies, but everything's opening. Mandates are more, vaccines are more accessible. This is all great news. Not saying that it ain't still out there and all that, but people are ready, man. People are ready to get back to their lives. And yeah, I miss it, man. I miss the normalcy of just going to see a movie anytime, not wait until 4 p.m. Like, I liked catching the early showings and get it done by midday, you know? Exactly. Go eat lunch right after. Yeah. So, yeah, excited to see both these, man. Free Guy looks great. And Jungle Cruise, but I'll go see it anyways. I don't care.
Well, with as good as news as that is, unfortunately, there are a few movies that are making a change. For instance, Top Gun Maverick is leaving its July 2nd spot for November 19th, and then it's taking over the release date that Mission Impossible 7 would have been in. Now, Mission Impossible 7 is set to open on May 27th, 2022, and then Mission Impossible 8 in July of 2023. So, bummer that they weren't able to keep those time frames for this apparently a trio of Tom Cruise movies, but it's the way it goes sometimes.
Yep, they could have. I would have been nice to push to August to keep that momentum going, but we'll get it in November. I'm pretty happy with that. Although August would have been better for that, because then you could have still got Mission Impossible in November.
Exactly. But you know what? We'll take it where we can get it at this point, and there is already a bunch of movies that are going to be coming out. Speaking of which, one movie that Tony and I are really looking forward to, it is the namesake of this show. It is our trailer of the week. Not necessarily a trailer. We can call it more a teaser of the week. But let's go ahead and check that out, and we'll talk about it just briefly afterwards. We're talking Ghostbusters Afterlife, and those Mini-Pufts. They're so cute. Let's go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage.
Nice Ant-Man tie-in right there with Baskin Robbins.
Totally.
Jamocha.
Strawberry, red velvet, blue velvet.
What could it be? Oh. What a great little tease. We haven't gotten anything since that last trailer, months ago. And so being able to see this and see, sort of the playfulness of what they're looking to do with it. I mentioned to Tony before that, it kind of looks like they took a key out of Army of Darkness, from Sam Raimi with the little ashes that were causing him, all sorts of hell. But it looks like fun. You've got that original soundtrack. You've got that tension. I'm even more excited after seeing this. What about you, Tone?
Oh, absolutely. The only thing is, if I heard someone scream I'd be a little more curious to what that is. But it's just funny. He's at the grocery store. He's just getting his ice cream. And just that. I'm sure there's more to it than him just stopping and the little marshmallow guys popping out. There's probably some more intenseness to it. But it looks great. And I just see marketing. This is marketing genius right there. Who would have thought? Take Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, make him mini. It's cute. This goes back. Take Yoda, make him small. Do the same for Chewbacca. Make him tiny like a pup. Sell millions.
Well, folks, we are headed into our final break. But you know what? Take a look at those little mini puffs because they certainly are sweet. When we come back, we're talking video game news. Don't go anywhere.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopRex.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take 1.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Behold, my precious. Ooh, yeah, let me tell you something right here, It's the Loot Crate subscription box, yeah, full of exclusive loot, fun surprises delivered to your door every month.
Just pick up your favorite geeky genre, Daddy.
From the original Loot Crate, the Loot Crate DX collectible boxes, dude! Cowabunga!
To the Loot Gaming video game box. Woohoo! Yee-hoo!
Box. What's with kids today,
Wowzers! With crits starting as low as $11.99 per month, there's a box just about for all collectors.
To get your geek on, head over to phoenixmedia.us/Loot Crate and claim your exclusive offer. That's FENIX media.us/Loot Crate. Great Scott!
Snap into a Loot Crate, dig it?
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Welcome back, folks, to the fourth and final segment of this episode of the Proton Pack Podcast. We just finished all of our movie news, and we are headed into our video game news, but not before we talk a little bit of theme parks. You know, every once in a while, it doesn't fit so nicely into the TV, movie, or video games. You know, we talk toys a little bit, we talk theme parks, but this is one I am certainly excited about. Disneyland's Avengers campus will finally be opened on June 4th, 2021 at Disney California Adventure. This immersive new area will be themed around all things Avengers and Marvel, with several locations hosted by a different Avenger and their unique theme, power, and technology. There will be areas focusing on Spider-Man, Ant-Man, and Doctor Strange, as well as the opportunity to encounter Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Black Widow, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor, and Loki. Disney originally planned to open the Avengers campus in 2020, but the COVID-19 pandemic closed most parks across the country. However, that's set to change at the end of April when California relaxes its lockdown rules. The Avengers campus previously announced Web Slingers, its first new ride centered around Spider-Man. Tom Holland will reprise his role as Peter Parker for the ride, where attendees can strap on web bracelets and interact with this 3D attraction. Tony, I know you're excited to see it. I have a feeling this web slinger game is going to be, or a ride is going to be along the lines of the Toy Story, the 3D.
Toy Story Mania.
Toy Story Mania, exactly. I'm so excited. And it got rid of the Bugs Life or the Bugs Land area, which...
It was dated, man. It was cool dated for the time, but it was nothing like Woo-Ha. And, I know a lot of people freaked out when they got rid of the Tower of Terror there, too. Like, they're like, oh, you can't get rid of that because it was a great ride. But, dude, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
Oh, so good.
Fantastic. And I have a feeling like the Spider-Man ride is going to be bitching. Oh, man, to wait times. If it's anything like Rise of the Resistance, it's going to be a nightmare to get on for a while, I would imagine.
Yeah.
It's June 4th, so, I mean, you're going to probably have a better chance of getting on this before I do when you go see the kiddos down there.
Yeah, and unfortunately the tickets are so damn expensive. But, if I could just get a ticket with them into California Adventure, I'll spend the whole day there. I'll wait in line. I'll do all of the Avengers experiences because if what they did with Star Wars is any indication of the Avengers side, the Marvel side of things, it's going to be so cool.
It is. Like, because you and I, the last time we did Disneyland was the day before Rise of the Resistance opened up at the California park. And, just Disneyland, not World. And I remember the day before, and we were just hoping to get that test ride. Like, would we get picked? And we never did. But that was my last Disneyland experience. And I am going to the World, but, man, I do miss the land. Well, I haven't confused you all yet.
If you recall from that trip we went on, boy, my brain, it's the end of the day here.
It is, yeah.
But we did Mission Breakout like back to back to back.
Oh, it was great, man.
It was so much fun.
Yes, that was a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll be able to do that at some point this year. Meet up with you when you go see the boys that weekend or something and try to squeeze in a Disney run. Be nice.
Exactly. Well, that does it for theme park news, which we get every once in a while. So let's head into our final 2 stories in video games.
Hey, man, you want to play some video games? Hadouken!
All right. Well, if you've been hunting down a Nintendo Switch in recent months, it sounds as though the handheld console hybrid could end up being just as difficult to find later on in 2021 as it was last year. Although the global pandemic has proven to be one of the main reasons why stock of the console has been so low over the past year, improving, it sounds as though in the long term, 2021 may still see shortages of the Switch as well. According to Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa, the company currently has enough semiconductor parts in stock to begin immediate production on a number of new Switch units. However, that doesn't mean that the manufacturer will be able to keep churning out Switch consoles at a high rate as the year progresses. We've been able to secure the necessary materials for the immediate production of semiconductors for the Switches, Furukawa said in an interview with Japanese publication Nikkei. However, in Japan and other countries, demand has been very strong since the beginning of the year, and there is a possibility of shortages at some retailers in the future. It is difficult to say how we will deal with this, but in some cases, we may not be able to prepare enough for orders. So if you haven't gotten yours already, if you find one while you're out there, whether it's a Switch Lite or a Switch Original, pick it up because they're not going to be around for too much longer, at least with this low stock.
Yeah, it's...
Macho Man Randy Savage is not happy with your decision, yeah.
Yeah, me either, Randy. Yeah, I think at this point, if you haven't got a Switch yet, now's not a bad time. I know Costco, or at least my Costco, just got a huge shipment in. We rarely ever get them, but we just got one. And that'll probably be the last time we'll get it for a while because it just pops in when we get them. It's kind of weird, too, because if you think about it, the PS5 and the Xbox Series 1X, both the newest systems came out in November. I have yet to see those on store shelves, man. It's all about timing your pre-orders, when you get them. And there's all this rumor of the new Nintendo Switch being a Nintendo Switch Pro coming later this year. So for me personally, let me just say this. If you don't already have a Nintendo Switch, definitely try to get one, but I would almost advise maybe holding out just a little bit longer and get this Pro version. But if you don't want to wait that long, if you can acquire one, definitely get it. It's a great system. It's fantastic.
Yeah, great games, great experience, but at the same time, if you're having trouble getting your hands on it, it's not going to get much easier.
Yeah.
And then finally, in video game news, we got a couple minutes left. Apparently during Wrestlemania 37, which just happened this past weekend, WWE 2K22 was revealed alongside a first look at gameplay featuring Rey Mysterio and Cesaro, if that's how you say it. The short clip, which you can
did good.
We'll post it on our Facebook page, features gameplay captured from a work-in-progress build, but showcases the new character models and action fans can expect when the game arrives later this year. WWE 2K22 will be the first 2K WWE simulation wrestling game since the poorly received WWE 2K20. Tony, are you looking forward to this? I haven't seen
the gameplay, the clip for it. The game looks, if it's the way the graphics are going to be, it looks great. It looks realistic. Okay. But I haven't liked a wrestling game since like the SmackDown series on the PlayStation 2. Those are fun, but give me like, like the old days, like WWF Raw, then WWF Royal Rumble on Super Nintendo. Those were a lot of fun. Wrestlemania, the arcade game, was good. I would say another fun one too that we used to play. You and I used to play like, was it WCW, NWO Revenge, and then WWF No Mercy on the Nintendo 64. Great. The graphics are poop. But I don't want to cuss on this show. Yeah, but the gameplay is great. And then if you were a fan of like the old school like WWF WrestleFest or the old arcade games, there is an option on your Nintendo Switch, your Xbox, and your PlayStation. It's called Retro. It's like Retro Wrestling Mania. It's basically this. It's made from the people that did WWF WrestleFest. It's the same graphics. It's got like a bunch of guys that are not in the WWF anymore, but they're like legendary wrestlers. So they're real named wrestlers. You'd have to check it out. It's, I think, some ECW guys and just guys that just ain't with the company. But the
gameplay will bring you back to that sort of nostalgia.
Absolutely. Yeah. And my thing is, back in the day with wrestling, where they went wrong with the 2K games is they had all these gimmicks and matches, but they made it too ridiculous. Like it was so story-based driven, and it's like, dude, back in the day I used to just want to pick up a wrestling thing, hear the theme music, create a wrestler so you could go in there finishing moves, and that was it. They used to be a lot of fun to play.
Yeah. Well, it'll be worth seeing if this one does better than 2K20, which by all
I heard was a glitch fest. Like there'd be a match and you'd be just like in the middle of the ring and your head be poking out and the other character is just blocky, and it's like unacceptable in this day and age. You can't put out a game like that.
Exactly. Well, folks, hate to say it, but we have reached the end of the show.
It's over.
In this new format, it goes by so quick. We've got so much to cover, but we appreciate you guys tuning in, listening in, dropping comments, giving us feedback, and of course, head over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Proton Pack Podcast to get everything you need related to the Proton Pack. Tony, you got anything else before we head on out?
Yeah, anything we've talked about today, please chime in below. Let us know. Are you excited are you disappointed Top Gun's coming out in November? What'd you think of the Ghostbuster trailer? Are you excited for WWE 2K22? Did you play wrestling games? Whatever it may be, whatever we talked about, please chime in below. We'd love to read the comments and stuff. And you never know, we may just reply even though the show is now over. But with that being said, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Stream us, share us, and check us out Monday through Friday on the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. So until next week, Tony out.
See you guys.
Peace.
Hasta la vista, baby.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Woo! Yowie wowie!
Mommy, where's Fluffy?
Goodbye.